Hey people, how are you all doing today? I'm Makeda Valletta, also known as the Body Scientist. And in case you're unfamiliar with me, I have a background in exercise science, sports science, nutrition science, and all that. Hold on. I just came from outside. I just did an IG live that some of you may have seen. It was really good. I was on the beach. But my phone overheated, and it was a really good video. Now I feel like I have to do it all over again. So if you're wondering why I'm sitting here in a bikini, it's because I just came from the beach. I have some things to teach you guys. I'm hot as hell, okay? My phone overheated. I feel like I overheated. As soon as I came in this house, I just took everything off. Then the sand, I hate. And I'm going to teach you guys some things to make you open your mind. Okay. For those of you who know me, you know I'm the body scientist, but I'm also a body artist. I'm a dancer, right? So I use my body to educate. I educate people about how to get their body to its highest level. But I'm also an artist, dancer, again, the body. And when you're a scientist and when you're an artist, you have to be open-minded. Okay, that is. I always wonder why is it the School of Arts and Sciences? Why do they put art and science together? I don't know, but I do know that to be an artist and to be a scientist, you have to have an open mind, and you have to look at the. Oh God, I'm sweating, sweat is dripping in my eye. You have to look at the body. Oh, hold on, I've got sand in my eye. Oh my God, I hate this stuff. Hold on, I don't want to get up because I don't want to start this video again. See, okay. Yeah, as an artist and a scientist, you have to be open-minded. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into that. I need to hurry to make this video because I'm just so irritated right now. First of all, I hate the beach, okay? Let me just make that clear. The only reason why I even go to the beach is because it's the one place that I can go to with a bikini and it's socially acceptable. If I walk out my house right now and walk down the street with a bikini on, it would be socially unacceptable. People would be like, why is she walking down the street half naked or 80% naked? But when you're on the beach or the pool, it's okay. So even in this video, you guys might be wondering, why is she doing this video with no clothes? Well, if I was on the beach doing the video, would you have the same thoughts? Because just now I was doing this video and I was sitting on the beach in the sun, talking about the sun. And I had on my bikini. But now that I'm in my house, does that change anything? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not an air conditioning person. I don't own an air conditioner, okay? I have to be extremely, extremely hot to turn on the air conditioning. Like if I lived in New Orleans, I'd have an air conditioner because the heat is ridiculous there. And even right now, I'm sitting by the window in my living room and I feel breezes coming through here, right? I don't like cold artificial air. And despite what people think, sweat does not cause you, sweat has nothing to do with how much fat you burn. A lot of people think the more they sweat, the more fat they're burning. Sweat has nothing to do with fat burning. Sweat has to do with water loss and electrolyte loss, okay? The more sweat you need, the more you sweat, the more you need to replace your electrolytes, okay? Which is why, if it's really hot outside, you're working out in the heat, you don't want to consume water. They always tell you in the news, it's going to be a heat wave. Drink a lot of water. No, you don't. That can dehydrate you. I have a video about hydration science on my YouTube page, The Body Scientist 81. It's called Hydration Science. And I talk about how drinking too much water can dehydrate you because it dilutes your electrolytes. Hydration is not just about water. It's also about your balance of electrolytes, sodium and potassium, and also your carbohydrates, okay? So, just now I was on the beach in Chicago, which is Lake Michigan. It's very windy there, okay, which is good because it's hot as hell outside, and that wind helps. But the problem with the wind is that it's blowing sand in my face, it's blowing sand in my eyes, and I despise sand. I hate sand, which is why I hate the beach. I cannot stand sand. I come in here, there's sand everywhere. I hate sand, right? And which is also why I don't like the desert, okay? You can miss me in the desert. Put me in the rainforest or the swamp any day. I do not like sand. I do not like dusty sand, okay? So, but I try to go to the beach so I can get some sun on my skin. Because, now I'm going to try to say this all over again, everything I just said in this video. But it sucks when I spend like 25 minutes doing a video that was so good. And then I lose it. I lost the video because my phone overheated. Okay? Which is one of the things that, this is one of the reasons why I appreciate seasons, okay? Because I don't want to be burning hot all the time. Like, the heat has its pros, but it also has its cons. Like, food goes bad, food spoils really quickly. You have all these bugs biting you. Leave something out, there's bugs. And, you know, your phone is overheating. You can't walk down the street and send text messages or do anything because your phone is hot. I don't like that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate seasons. Even though I'm a summer baby, my birthday's in August. Ugh, all this sand. Now I feel like I have to get in the shower. It feels disgusting. I just got out the shower, moisturized, went to the beach. Now I feel like I have to get back in the shower to get the sand off of me. Can't stand it, right? But I've done videos in the past about vitamin D. You can check them out on my page, The Body Scientist 81, even though they're trying to delete that page right now. It could get deleted at any moment. So I'm going to start putting myself on Patreon because apparently I can't tell the truth about health on YouTube. But, you know, melanin, everything in life has pros and cons, okay? The good thing about melanin is that you can take higher dosages of sun without burning and worrying about skin cancer, but at the same time, melanin blocks the UV rays, okay? Melanin blocks the UV rays, and we need those UV rays to make vitamin D. So the more melanin that you have, the darker that you are, the more sunlight that you require to even manufacture vitamin D from the sun, okay? And you have to be in the sun during the hottest times of the day, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. usually, depending on where you are in the world. That's when the sun is directly overhead. That's the hottest time of the day. Each patch of our skin only makes a certain amount of vitamin D before it's maxed out, which is why you have to have a lot of your skin exposed to the sun. If you have on shorts and you just have your shins and your arms exposed and your face, that's not enough. You need as much of your skin as possible, okay? And you need to be in the sun, like, you know, somebody like myself, I don't know, maybe I would need to be in the sun for 2 hours. Maybe somebody who's darker would need to be in the sun for 4 or 5 hours. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But we need a lot, and almost naked. Most people aren't doing that. People don't have time. People are at work, people are in their house, people are in their car. In America, people drive so much, which is one of the reasons why I like living in a walkable city. I'm from New York, Harlem to be exact. I live in Chicago now. And in both places I can walk to do things. But I have to like make a concerted effort to say, let me go walk somewhere so I can get some sun on my skin and then walk on the sunny side of the street, right? Most people are not in the sun enough to make vitamin D from the sun. Also, you have to have enough cholesterol on your diet because vitamin D is made from a cholesterol backbone, okay? Something called ergosterol. So when those UV rays interact with that cholesterol backbone in our blood, it produces vitamin D. Vitamin D is a hormone, actually, not even a vitamin. The religions where women dress modestly must be so vitamin D deficient. They are. If you look at Muslim women and stuff, Muslim countries and women wearing all those clothes, not only are they severely vitamin D deficient, so are their babies. Okay, babies are being born with rickets and other vitamin D deficiencies. Yes, that is very true. That's why when people say, "Oh, I live in Florida, I live in the Caribbean, I'm getting my vitamin D." No, you're not. Every time I've gone to the Caribbean, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Haiti, I've been to Cuba, Puerto Rico, South America, I've been to Colombia, I've been to Mexico. You know, all those hot places, people have on a lot of clothes. Even in South Florida, in New Orleans, most people are walking around with long sleeves and pants on. Which people up north, like in New York and Chicago or up north, people usually have on shorts and tank tops when it's hot out. But when places where it's hot all the time, they have on a lot of clothes. You are not absorbing any vitamin D if you have on all those clothes. And then people will be in their car and in their house. So you could live in a sunny place and still be severely vitamin D deficient if you're not making a concerted effort to be outside in the sun, mostly naked for hours, as if you're melanated. For people who don't have a lot of melanin, and even some black people don't, there's some light-skinned black people who burn very easily. The less melanin that you have, the less sunlight you need, okay? And so sunburn, too much sun destroys your folate. Now, folate is a B vitamin that is necessary for cellular reproduction, okay? Every time your cells reproduce, folate reproduces that DNA. If you're deficient in folate, you'll have mutated cells, which can also code for cancer, okay? And vitamin D prevents cancer. So you don't want to be in the sun longer than you need to. Nature controls for everything, okay? Nature controls for everything. Nature is saying, okay, you're burning because it's enough for you, time's up. So you don't want to put sunscreen on your skin to then try to be in the sun longer than you're supposed to naturally. If you naturally burn in 30 minutes, that's all the sun you need to get your vitamin D. If you try to extend that by putting on some fake chemicals, now you could be here for 2.5 hours. That can cause genetic damage, okay? On top of the fact that the chemicals in the sunscreen are cancer causing. On top of the fact that the sunscreen is blocking the UV rays, which you need to make vitamin D. So on so many levels, sunscreen causes cancer, okay? You don't want to use sunscreen if you have melanin, because melanin is natural sunscreen. You don't want to use it if you don't have melanin, because you need to get out the sun when your time is up, okay? And also, you need to have enough cholesterol on your diet, right? So people who are low cholesterol diet, taking statin drugs, are going to have vitamin D deficiencies too, even if you get the sun. And this is why too, like I said, I'm sitting here with this bikini on because I was just on the beach. I did this video. Now, if I was on the beach in a bikini, you guys wouldn't be like, why are you in a bikini, babe? Because I'm in my house. You're wondering why, right? Yeah, but I'm hot, like I'm not, when I came in this house, I almost passed out walking back here. I was like, oh my God, I'm hot. And I also was drinking my coconut water. I was talking about hydration. I was showing you guys what I was drinking when I was on the beach, which was coconut water. Coconut water and watermelon juice are the best for hydration because of the electrolyte and carbohydrate balance. You don't want to drink water when you're dehydrated. Hold on, let me come back to that. You said you've heard a lot of white people online mention that they stop burning in the sun after they stop consuming seed oils in favor of animal fats. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because I was going to say that. It has a lot to do with the foods, the fats that you eat too, okay? That's another thing I was talking about in the video, was the fats that you consume also have a lot to do with it, right? So you do not want to consume... I need to come back to the hydration thing because somebody's asking about that. But let me say, if you're consuming rancid fats, rancid seed oils, canola oil, soybean oil, safflower oil, corn oil, okay, those are polyunsaturated rancid seed oils, not vegetable oils, because none of them come from vegetables, okay? They're seed oils. Those oils are highly destructive. You do not want to cook with them, okay? I have YouTube videos talking about the oils, the fats, the best fats to cook with. You should watch that video. The same fats you cook with are the same fats you want to put on your skin. Saturated fats are the most stable when light, heat, and air are applied to them. That's light, heat, and air, okay? They're the most stable. The polyunsaturated fats are the least stable. The more unsaturated fat is, the more unstable it is when light, heat, and air are applied to it. So we have saturated fats, which are the most stable. We have monounsaturated fats, which are less stable. And polyunsaturated fats, which are totally unstable, okay? So, what are the saturated fats? Cocoa butter, shea butter, coconut oil, palm oil, tallow, butter, ghee, duck fat. And lard is like a mixture of saturated and monounsaturated, because lard has a lot of oleic acid, which is also in olive oil. Olive oil is not the best oil to cook with. I don't cook. If I cook with olive oil, I mix it with butter. But olive oil by itself, no. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It's a monounsaturated fat. So olive oil is way better to add on to something or use it, cook it with butter to help stabilize it. Of course, vegans are more susceptible to vitamin D deficiencies because vitamin D is only in animal fats, first of all, in animal foods. There's no plant source of vitamin D. And number two, you need cholesterol, enough cholesterol in your blood to make vitamin D even if you're in the sun. And vegans don't eat cholesterol because cholesterol comes from animal food. So yes, vegans are definitely at risk for severe vitamin D deficiencies. So going back to the seed oils, you don't want to put that on your skin. You don't want to put, a lot of those lotions have canola oil in it. Soybean oil, you don't want to put that on your skin, but you also don't want to cook with it and consume it, because you will burn easier, yes, if you're consuming that, okay? Avocado oil is a fruit oil like coconut oil, and I haven't studied avocado oil a lot. From what I know about avocado oil, it's good, but I haven't studied it enough to speak on it wholeheartedly, but I think that it's okay. And I'll get back to you on the avocado oil. I don't think it's bad. So that's why, like, what I had on my skin, what I have on my skin right now is my cocoa lotion, which is a mixture of lanolin, cocoa butter, tallow, coconut oil, and canola, and castor oil. Lanolin and tallow naturally have vitamins A and D in it, okay? So, and cholesterol. So I'm putting vitamin A and D on my skin, and then getting the sun too to help even maximize that vitamin D production. Ghee also is very, very high in vitamins A and D. So my other skin mixtures, my tropical heat that has cocoa butter, ghee, palm oil, castor oil, that those animal fats, the ghee, the tallow, very lanolin, very high in vitamins A and D. And that's very good for your skin. Vitamin A and D are both critical for your immune system, and your skin is a part of your immune system as well. It's the largest organ in your body. And you said that apparently a lot of avocado oil is cut with seed oil, and the manufacturers won't mention it. Yeah, see, that's why I don't speak on things that I haven't really researched. I know that's true about olive oil. Good olive oil is good, but a lot of olive oil is cut with other things, and it's not what you think it is. So you have to be very careful with olive oil. So I didn't know that about avocado oil. Thank you for saying that. And that's exactly why I don't speak on things unless I've thoroughly researched it. But I think if you do have pure avocado oil, I think it might be good. But I stick to the raw cocoa butter, raw coconut oil, raw palm oil, raw shea butter, raw, the lanolin, like those, and they're time tested. So yeah, and I cook with butter and tallow and ghee. Okay, so those same things that you cook with are the same things that you want to put on your skin. Going back to the hydration thing, yes, I said watermelon juice and coconut water are, thank you. Yeah, everybody who, no, I don't add essential oils to my body blends. No, I don't. I don't really believe in essential oils. I think essential oils are very wasteful. To make like 1 drop of rose oil, you got to use like 1,000 roses or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't add essential oils. But everybody likes how my stuff smells. It smells like chocolate. It smells like the natural, high-quality cocoa butter that's in all of my mixtures. Everybody I know that's used my skin moisturizers likes it. And I have different ones. But anyhow, no, I don't use any essential oils. So the coconut oil and the watermelon juice coconut water and watermelon juice are the best for hydration because of the ratio of electrolytes, of sodium, potassium, and carbohydrates, okay? Hydration is not just about water. So when it's really hot and they're telling you, just keep drinking water, or people are working out and they keep drinking water, you don't want to do that. That can cause you to be dehydrated, okay? It's something called hyponatria, where it dehydrates your electrolytes. It dilutes them. Hydration is also about your blood sugar levels and your electrolyte balance. It's not simply about water. So that's why if you pass out and go to the hospital for dehydration, they don't give you water. They give you an IV fluid that has electrolytes in it. It's like a saline fluid that's very similar to coconut water. We need a lot more potassium than sodium, okay? So that potassium-sodium balance, that ratio, and just something called a potassium-sodium pump, for those of you who know about physiology, and carbohydrates. And so coconut water and watermelon juice have that perfect ratio. Now, if you didn't have those two, you can get some other fresh squeezed juice and maybe dilute it with water, because all juice has carbohydrates and electrolytes, but it's just different balances. And a lot of them have a lot more. Still, if all you had was water and fresh squeezed pineapple juice, then you'd want to drink the pineapple juice or dilute that pineapple juice with water, because water in itself is not going to help you if you're in a state of dehydration, okay? Your muscles use carbohydrates as fuel, so does your brain. So just now, and I'm feeling like I'm overheating and I'm about to pass out, I needed some carbohydrates. The first thing I did when I got in the house was take all this off Get a cup of some lemonade, because I have no more coconut water, and dilute that with water because I don't want it to be too sweet, and start sipping on it. And I feel better now because I was about to get a headache. Okay? And those can be signs of overheating. Like I said, I was outside doing this video, my phone overheated and shut down. Okay? And at that time I said, it's time for me to get up off this beach because I'm overheating and about to shut down. I got my dose of sun. Okay? But this is the reason why I did a video recently about how how Western science has not confirmed anything that indigenous science didn't already know. So prior to colonization, every place it was hot, whether it was Africa, Southeast Asia, the Polynesian islands, the Caribbean islands, South America, every place where it was hot, people were practically naked, okay? Practically naked. They didn't have any bras, didn't have on panties, they were walking around with like little things around their waist and practically naked. If you go into Amazon right now, to the uncolonized people, that's how they are. It was colonialism that told us that we need to cover up and this is indecent. We put on all these damn clothes. And what has been the consequences of that? Severe vitamin D deficiencies, right? Not only that, but the foods, okay? The foods that are high in vitamin D are demonized, okay? Vitamin D and vitamin A work together. For every unit of vitamin D, you need a unit of vitamin A. The foods that are high in vitamin D are also high in vitamin A. And what are those foods? Liver. Everybody in the world ate liver at some point. Now a lot of people are moving away from it, but no matter where you were from in the world, your family ate some kind of liver, okay? Whether it be goat's liver, sheep's liver, pig liver, chicken liver, cow liver, people ate liver, okay? Cod liver oil. I take cod liver oil every day. Cod liver oil, excellent source of vitamin A and D. Kids used to be given cod liver oil. I think kids now aren't given that. But if you're of a certain age, you were given cod liver oil as a kid. Those are the most potent sources of vitamin A and D, liver, okay? Now, after that, you have pork fat, which a lot of people in the world eat pork fat, okay, except the Muslim countries. Everybody I know who doesn't eat pork, usually they grow up Muslim. But if you look throughout the Caribbean, in Haiti, in Puerto Rico, in Cuba, in DR, in Mexico, a lot of South American countries, you go to the Polynesian islands, you go to Korea, Japan, you do the Japanese ramen, all they consume is pork broth. The Okinawa in Japan, who are the longest living, healthiest people in the world, they cook with lard every day in pork broth. Koreans, the French, the Italians, the Spanish, pork, okay? That's what most of the world is eating. But pork fat is an excellent source of vitamin A and D, but that's demonized. Then we have butter, okay? Butter gets demonized. People think, oh, too much butter causes a heart attack. That's not true. The saturated fats in butter we need for our brain, we need for our heart, we need for our immune system, we need for our lung health, okay? Butter is also a good source, if it's grass-fed butter, of vitamin A and D. Ghee is even more potent in vitamin A and D. Then you have fish eggs and shellfish like shrimp, which are also extremely high in cholesterol. So these are all foods that are demonized, and those are the foods that are high in vitamin A and D. Not mushrooms. People will tell you can get vitamin D from mushrooms. No, you can't. It's not the same vitamin D. It's not the same chemical form that we need. And also, vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it needs fat. There's no fat in mushrooms, but there's fat in liver. There's fat in fish eggs. There's fat in pork fat. There's fat in butter. Okay? There is no fat in mushrooms. Okay? Then there's no vitamin A in mushrooms. So, I mean, you cannot get vitamin D from mushrooms or any other plant. You need animal foods. And funny enough, when it's really hot outside, it takes my appetite away, right? Which is why I appreciate seasons, because when it's cold out, that's when I want to eat more. When the fall comes around and the winter comes around, I want to eat all this yummy, hearty food. I don't want to eat all this yummy, hearty food when I'm hot. When I'm really hot, like, a lot of times I won't eat till the evening because I'm just the heat. If you go outside in the sun, it takes my appetite away. So those foods, if you think about Thanksgiving and Christmas and all those feasting times are around the winter when it starts to get cold. And those are the times you will eat lots of butter and liver and the pork fat and all that, to get your vitamins A and D, because you're not going to get it from the sun year round. If you live up north, I think north of Atlanta, or maybe the border might be south of that, you can only get vitamin D a few months from the sun for a few months out of the year. Maybe from like May to September or something. After that, the position of the sun in the sky and how it's hitting the earth is not the right UV ray length in order to make vitamin D from the sun. So we have to get it from our diet. And even those of us who live someplace where it's sunny, hot all year round, most of you aren't get outside in the sun like that. It's just a fact, okay? Most of you are not. Yeah, you got to eat for different seasons, right? And we eat seasonal foods too. So I think that I said what I needed to say. Because like I said, I had done this video already on the beach and it overheated and I felt like, damn, it was a good video. Let me come home and do it again. So I've done it again. I think I've spoken the points I needed to speak on. Also, I talked about the fats you eat and the fats you put on your skin. So saturated fats, putting saturated fats on your skin can help protect your skin from the oxidizing properties of the sun without blocking the UV rays. You do not want to block the UV rays because you won't be able to make vitamin D. You feel like you can't trust anything the FDA says. Yeah, no, you can't. I can tell you that firsthand. And it's good to look at traditional foods. Do you have anybody in your family that lived to be 100 or close to 100? What did they eat? Find out. I could tell you it wasn't salad and green juice. And most of those people ate pork chops and bacon and eggs. They just had an interview with the longest living woman in the world. She was in South Africa, 128. And she was talking about how much milk she drank. Now, you know, I'm a milk drinker. Actually, I have to make a drive late this evening when the sun goes down to get my raw milk from an Amish market in Chicago that's owned by Russians, okay? If you haven't seen my videos on raw milk, check that out. But I consume raw milk every single day. Milk does my body good, okay? Another good source of vitamin A and D and good fats. But it's also good for your skin, okay? Like milk and honey, right? So even though I have melanin, which is a natural sunscreen, I still moisturize my skin because I feel like it gives me a glow, right? And it just makes you brown better. I have to kind of think of myself like a chicken, I don't know. But it also protects your skin from the oxidizing properties of the sun. But it doesn't block the UV rays. So, you know, today I have my cocoa lotion on, which is lanolin, cocoa butter, coconut oil, tallow, and castor oil. But then I also have my tropical lotion, which is lanolin, cocoa butter, ghee, palm oil, and castor oil, right? And then I have other variations of those mixtures. Both of those are good for the sun. I have found that people who burn easily, black people who burn easily, I've known some light-skinned black people who do burn easily in the sun. When they've used my tropical heat line, which is cocoa butter, ghee, palm oil, castor oil, when they've used that, it has helped them, prevent them from burning so easily. Even though, again, you don't want to stay in the sun longer than you're supposed to. But ghee has a very high smoke point. So if you're cooking something at a very high temperature, ghee is a good oil to cook with because it has a very, very high smoke point. The smoke point is the temperature at which it can take before it starts to mutate and become destructive and poisonous. And ghee has one of the highest smoke points, maybe like 400 and something. So even though both my mixtures I feel like are good on the skin for protecting it, I tend to think that the one with the ghee in it might be even more protective. And then the palm oil has all those very strong carotenes and stuff like that. But both of them are very good for the skin. And both can be used interchangeably. I use them both. I don't burn them. The only time I've gotten sunburn, last time I got sunburn I was probably like 12. And I was in the pool in Atlanta outside. I get sunburned like if I'm outside in like intense sun in the pool or something like that. And I don't even get in pools. I don't like pools because I don't like all that chlorine. The chlorine is bad for you. And I don't like the beach because I hate the sand, you know. I just want to be outside without my clothes. like walk down a street like this, but I can't walk down a street like this. So then I go to the beach so I can try to just absorb my sun. I really love to have like a backyard or something where I could just be outside, not be seen. I could just be outside in my yard with very little clothes on. But walk down the street. It's like in Miami, I could walk around with a bikini top and little shorts. But Miami is not a walkable city unless you're on South Beach. The rest of Miami, you're in your car all day. So I've been in Miami and it's like impossible for me to get sun on my skin because you're in the car, you drive from one place to the next, you get out in the strip mall, parking lot, go inside of a store, like you're not getting any sun on your skin, right? So, you know, I'm just telling you, it's not as easy as you think to really get sun on your skin. And it's funny because black people with the most melanin seem to cover up the most. and be in the shade the most, and we need the sun the most. And the people who have the least amount of melanin will just be laying out in the sun. And I'm like, how are you not burning? Like, now I have one theory about that too. I was talking about science, right? Bright colors are reflecting light. Darker colors are absorbing light. So I tend to think that maybe people who are really light, even though they seem like they have this tolerance for laying in the sun for all this time, like I would have a heat stroke if I laid in the sun for an hour. I think maybe it's because they're reflecting the light more. And the more melanin you have, you're absorbing the light more. So maybe that's why we feel it so much more intensely, and we're always trying to get in the damn shade. You don't see black people laying out, or any melanated people, not just black people, because melanated people is more than black people. But you don't see them laying out in the sun like that. Like, they're in a toaster oven. For us, we're like, oh my God, it's hot, I need the shade. So for me, it's easier for me to get more sun if I'm just walking around doing things. Like, I just try to moisturize, put a little bit of clothes, walk around, try to run errands, try to walk on the sunny side of the street so I can get as much sun on my skin as possible. But you have to make like a concerted effort, So just understand that the sun is not enough for most of you to get your vitamin D. Most of you aren't about that life. Most of you are not outside for 3 hours between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., mostly naked in the sun. So therefore, you need to get it from food. One of the best sources, good quality cod liver oil. Okay? So I spoke about hydration, right? And how I have a video on my YouTube page too, Body Scientist 81, about hydration science. So hydration is not simply about drinking water, right? So, and that's when you're working out, don't drink water. When you're in the gym, don't drink water. Get some watermelon juice or some coconut water. Spoke about hydration. Spoke about sunscreen, how it's not good. Spoke about the saturated fats being the most stable. Definitely check out my YouTube videos on which fats are good to cook with. And I have videos where I get more. I have another video about why it's important to understand the chemistry of fats. That video was deleted from my YouTube page. And my YouTube page, YouTube is threatening to delete my page because of that video. And another video I did on natural immunity. Those give me 2 strikes on my YouTube page. And they tell me they might delete it. So that's why I'm starting a Patreon page. I'm just going to put all that stuff on there. Because I want to be able to speak freely about health. And help those who really want help and want the truth. Because you're not going to get it from the FDA. You're not going to get it from the news. Because you have the commercial media advertising. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it from the people who are educated by the universities who are sponsored by these companies either, okay? And yes, thank you. The people who have purchased my products, all are in my inbox, tell me how much they love it. I have people that want to subscribe for like quarterly subscriptions to my skincare products. I haven't seen anybody making any skin mixtures with ghee and palm oil and those things, right? The mixtures that I make are unique. And I'm not done with them. And I have somebody working on my site because I'm not a technological person. But somebody's working on my site right now as we speak that will be up before the week is out. AmazoniaHolistics.com and AmazoniaHolistica.com will go to my store so you can purchase my products. But for now, I have an Instagram page, Amazonia Holistica, and you can email me. I actually have to ship some out today. And so I think I've got my point across in this video. If you've learned something from this video, please like it, please share it. Please follow me on YouTube in case my page, if my page doesn't get deleted. And just keep listening and share it with somebody who you think it may help, okay? Have a lovely day, people. If you're someplace sunny, try to get your sun. All right? Yes, I will be selling 90 eggs. I still sell 90 eggs on my Instagram page, 90 eggs, but I'm also working on a site for that. It'll be on my Amazonia Holistics page. So I am still selling 90 eggs. Okay, people, enjoy your day.